Previously on No Man's Land, I started off the episode by getting a field of soybeans as well as a field of corn harvested before buying a brand new Rosamash Field Creator cultivator so I could get both of those fields cultivated as well as seeded with soybeans before we do the ultimate soybean sale. And then as well I got those fields sprayed off before looking into some more animal husbandry, placing down a sheep pen, buying some new sheep, and then also buying some new mowers so that I could cut grass to feed the sheep. So I got those bought and then put right onto a little patch of grass that was ready to cut and got those sheep fed. Welcome back, folks, to another episode on No Man's Land. I'm starting off today just looking at our new sheep that we purchased last episode, looking oh so content in their brand new pen. We've got those producing wool. If we look over here, we've already got over 4 pallets of wool, I should say. And then if we look at our pigs, they're chugging along as well, growing up. If we look at how they're doing, there's a couple that are almost at the age that we can start selling them off. Once they get to about $1,200, I believe that's the max value that you can get out of them. So after that, you're just wasting food on them. So hopefully here soon we'll be able to sell off a couple pigs and make some money off of that. But the point of this episode is my goal is to get all of our soybeans harvested. So let's hop into our combine. We'll have a quick look at our map here. We have one field that's ready to harvest today, a next that will be ready to harvest next month, and then 2 more that will be ready to harvest following that month. We are in May, and as well if we look at our soybeans, their best month to sell, it says July, but it actually is in June, as we can see here. So we'll be able to get 2 of the fields sold off in June, and then we'll have to sleep into July and get the last 2 fields sold off. But we'll have to sleep into July to get those last 2 fields harvested. We will sell them off in July because, as you can see, we still get a pretty big price and there'll be quite a lot of beans to sell. So let's hop in the harvester, let's hook up to our header, and let's get started on the first field of soybeans. So just as I have done for the last couple fields, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the deer combine up on our course play, and I will hop in the cloth combine and get going on the other half of the field. So this guy is started, we'll let him run, and I will hop in the cloths. Okay, we've got the header hooked up. Let's head over to the field now. Hopefully the deer combine will get its first headland out of the way soon, and then we can get started on this field as well. In the meantime, I'm going to make my way over to the truck, hook that up to the trailer, and get that out to the field as we will need it very soon. And as you can see, our soybeans, we are sitting at 183,000 liters of them in the silo, which equates to about $713,000. I would assume this will probably be around half of what we will total sale. So we can look at that sale being up around $1.4 million, which is going to be huge, which will really allow me to start, like I mentioned in the previous episode, making this farm just look a little bit nicer. But the deer combine has finished up its first headland, so we can break into this field with the cloth one. I do have the deer combine running 4 headlands, so I hope that this will be about the right space to go in to start our pass. The deer combine should be able to cover the stuff to my right in the remaining 3 headlands that it has to do. So we'll just chug along with our cloth combine and we'll get this field knocked out. And it looks like our deer combine's already ready to unload. So we'll hop in the trailer over here and get that guy unloading right away so he can continue his job. We will just pull in right under this guy. Hopefully the auger will be able to reach. I think we should be good, and we'll get him unloaded. And that deer combine just finished unloading. It was perfect timing actually, because we'll get just out of his way. He won't even have to stop. Very nice. So we've got our first load of beans into the trailer for this harvest today. And just looking, we should be okay. That combine should get the rest of the soybeans that are just on the south side of that field. He's still got 2 more headlands to go, and he'll cover it in his 3rd. And we will also have a bit of an easier time turning around now that we've got a bit more space opened up in the field. Okay, so we're making good progress on this field so far. I've almost filled this cloth combine full for the first time. The deer combine is finishing up its last headland, and it does have a pretty close to full grain tag. So we'll probably have to get both of these unloaded 1 more time each, and then we can finish off the first of these 4 fields. I am just going to back out so he can do that pass, otherwise we definitely would have ran into each other and made things a bit more stressful than they needed to be. But we should have only maybe 2 or 3 passes each left for each combine, so this field will be wrapped up in no time at all. Okay, we are just about to get a full grain tank right about now. There we go. So I will hop in the trailer and we will get this combine unloading. Okay, unloading the Kloss combine now. I would assume we will have just shy of 40,000 liters in the trailer once this combine has unloaded. And like I mentioned, that deer combine has pretty close to a full tank, so we'll have to rip over there and get him unloaded as well. And we should be sitting around 60,000 after that. There we go, that combine is unloaded. So I'll just drive over to the deer combine, we can get him unloading, and I'll hop back in the Kloss combine. Okay, there we go. I think I should just have to do this pass with the Kloss, and then the deer should follow up for the left pass, and then field number 1 will be done. It does seem like there's just a little section that he can't hit, so I will turn around. Actually, I'll just start making my way over to the trailer to get this combine unloaded, and we'll get this last little bit here. Okay, we'll unload the last 2,000 beans from this combine. I'll hop in this deer combine and finish the worker, otherwise he'll just keep going on all the fields that we've already done. Very nice. We'll get our auger out and unload the rest of this. Now my plan is to leave these fields barren for right now. I'm not going to do any field work for them. My thinking with that is I want to get these beans knocked out pretty efficiently and sold off. As well as I'd mentioned, I am going to start cleaning up some of these fields a little bit, so there's no point in planting something in them if I'm going to be adjusting them and essentially erasing some of the work that I've already done. So for now, we'll just leave them empty, and I will see you guys in the next month when we can get the rest of these fields knocked out. Okay, it's now the next month. I do have the deer combine already set up and running on the course. We've got our first headland open, so I can dive into the field with the Kloss combine. Once I do get this field done, we will be making our first sale of the episode, where we will sell the first half of our soybeans. As I mentioned earlier, those other 2 fields that I planted last episode won't be ready until July. But we can still sell all the beans that are in the silo, as well as the beans that come off of this field this month, and we will be able to make a lot of money from it. And again, I'm just taking a bit of a guess as to how wide the combine will go with the headlands. I'm guessing that it will take out everything to my right in those headlands, but if I've guessed wrong and I'll have to come back and do a bit, it's not the end of the world. And I must say, I'm actually pretty impressed with how straight I kept that over the distance. I thought it was going to be a bit more of a squiggly line than it is. Okay, and it looks like our deer combine is full for the first time on this field, so let's hop in the trailer. We did get around 62,500 liters of beans from that first field, which is really good. Well, that is about a third of what we already have in the silo, so that stuff in the silos might not even actually make to half of what we're total going to sell today. So we might even be making more than $1.4 million. I can't wait to see what we make. Alright, trailer is now under the auger arm. Let's just make sure it can reach. It can, just barely, so we can hop back in the Kloss combine and continue getting this field done. And as you can see, this deer combine still has 3 more headlands to go, and we've already gotten 1 load out of it. So I won't be shocked if we're sitting around 80,000 to 90,000 liters off of this field, but we'll find out once we finish up. I assume this tank will be full just as we start our pass heading back the other way, so I will get this unloaded and continue on the field once we're full. And it looks like, once again, I guessed pretty accurately, as that combine should take out the 3rd headland. Okay, that combine is full, so let's just make our way over with the trailer and get it unloaded. Okay, that combine is unloaded, very nice. And we can continue on our way in the Kloss combine. Just kidding, the deer combine is full, so I'll hop in the trailer. We'll get that unloaded, and then I can hop back in the Kloss combine and continue. There we go, and as you can see, we are already at over 100,000 liters in the trailer. This will put us around 120,000 liters, so these 2 fields will definitely produce more than we already have in the silos, which is awesome. Alright, and just starting the very last pass now. We're sitting around 12,000 beans in this combine alone. I wouldn't be shocked if it's around the same that's in the deer combine. So I think our total yield from this field will be sitting around 80,000 liters, which is awesome. I'm really happy with that. And we are going to go head on head with this combine once we get there. So we'll see that. It's a Mexican standoff. Boom. We're done. Field number 2 of soybeans. And this guy's just going to follow me. So I'm going to pull the Kloss combine out of the way of the deer. We'll get our auger open. And then what I'm going to do actually is just jump out, hop in the deer combine. And we'll do the exact same thing. We'll get our auger open and we'll make a nice little soybean fountain for our trailer to be under. We will just try and snake our way under here, just like so, and these should both be able to unload. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. One is finished unloading. The second one will be done any second now. So we're sitting around, I want to say 141,000 liters, which is over what we have in the silo, and about 80,000 liters total from this field. So about what I was expecting it to be. So let's head over to the silo. We'll get the rest of our beans unloaded, and then we can make our way over to the sale point for our first of 2 soybean sales today. I was mistaken. We had 172,000 liters. I thought it was 132,000 liters in the silo. So not quite what we had in the silo, but definitely with the other 2 fields, we will be past what was in the silo. Okay, I'm going to pull out there. I'm going to leave a couple of beans in the silo, about 15,000 liters, which I'll be using for pig feed. So let's make our way over to the sale point with all 310,000 liters that we have so far. And let's see how much money we can make from it. Okay, here we are. Let's start unloading and dumping this into the sale point. And that we are done, sitting at 1.164 million. That is awesome. That is awesome for our very first load. We should be about half that, I would assume, off the next 2. So we'll be sitting at well over $2 million, I feel. So now I will take the trailer back to the farm. I will see you guys in the next month when those last 2 fields of soybeans are ready to harvest. We'll get those taken out of the ground and we can get the total of how many soybeans we are selling today. Okay, once again, we have slept through the night. We are now in July, ready to take out these last 2 fields of soybeans. As you can see up ahead, I already have the deer combine working with the course blade to get our headlands sorted out. And just like the previous 2 fields, I will dive in with the Kloss combine and we'll get these beans out of the ground. Okay, and just as I start this pass, it looks like the deer combine is full. So let's run out and hop into the trailer, and I will pull up alongside the deer combine and get it unloading. I did miss a little patch of soybeans on my last pass, so I will definitely go back and get those because we are out here for maximum profit. We don't want to waste any crop on the ground. Okay, Kloss combine is now full. We've got 20,000 liters in the grain tank. It does look like I might have missed a little patch on that headland. We'll have to go back and see, but first let's hop in the trailer and get these beans unloaded out of the Kloss combine. There we go. Very nice. This combine is now unloading. Okay, there we go. This combine isn't finished. I'm going to let that deer combine do its last headland, and then I will go back and see if we did miss that spot or if we actually got the spacing just about right. And just as that deer combine does its last headland, it does look like we actually will not have to go back to pick up the rest of the beans over there. So I think I did plan it out pretty well. Okay, and as you can see here, I bet by the time we get to this end of this pass, the deer combine will be right behind us, and that'll be field 3 completed out of 4 for this massive soybean harvest. There we go, very nice. Let's get our auger open. We'll turn our header off, and I'll hop in the deer combine because he just finished up right behind us. We'll finish the worker, get the auger arm open as well, and we'll make another fountain for our trailer to get dumped into. This one's going to be a bit trickier, but I think I can make it work. We'll just kind of slide it in. Very nice. We'll get these combines unloaded and we'll see how many liters we got from this field. Okay, the Kloss combine is empty. We're at 62,000 liters and we still got a decent amount in the deer combine. Very nice. We are unloaded in both combines and sitting around 66,000 liters of soybeans just from this one field. So now I will hop in the deer combine, and just as we have done for the other 3 fields, I will get this guy started on the headlands and we'll hop in the Kloss combine, and that will be the last field of soybeans that we have to harvest today. And then we will be able to see how many millions of dollars we made from all our beans. All right, this guy is off to the races, getting going on the very last field of soybeans. Once again, I am in the Kloss combine, getting going as the deer combine continues the headlands. Okay, the first load of soybeans from deer combine is ready to get dumped in the trailer, so I will make my way over there and we'll get it unloaded. Very nice. All right, it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a collision here, so I'm gonna try and get out of the way of this combine. Oh, there we go. And then try and circle back to what I was doing. Not ideal, but not a big deal. All right, and we just have a full tank of beans here in the Kloss combine, so I will get him pulled out of the way and ready to unload. And as we can see, the deer combine has just finished up the headlands. It is driving all over the crop, but they have just finished up the headlands, which means they will start doing their rows. We should, I would assume, maybe only have 5 more minutes of harvest left, because with the 2 combines going at the same time, there's not many passes that need to be done, and then we can get the last of these beans sold off. Okay, very nice. This combine is completely unloaded, so we can get back into the field for just a couple more passes. The deer combine is full, which will probably be the last of what we need out of that machine, so we'll get it unloading, and then I'm gonna unhire the workers so it doesn't move once it's finished unloading, and I will finish up the rest of this field with the Kloss combine. Alright, just finishing up the last of these beans that we have to harvest today. We're sitting around 7,400 liters of soybeans left in this combine. As you can see, the deer combine has finished unloading, which means once we get this Kloss combine unloaded, we can head off to the sale point and make some more money. Okay, combines are unloaded. We now have the last of the beans that are ready to sell. So let's make our way over to the sale point. I'm expecting around $700,000, maybe just a bit less. Hopefully we can reach the 2 million mark of our total income. So let's go see how much money we can make. All right, that is the last of the beans sold. We got $468,351 from that sale, which brings our total sale to $1.6 million. Now sitting at 101.8 million. We didn't quite reach the 2 million mark like I was hoping, but still quite a lot of money. We were only sitting at around $300,000, just shy of that before we sold all these beans. So I'm really happy with that sale. We've got a lot of fields that are empty, but I'm gonna get this equipment away, and then we will probably head into the sky and make some couple changes to this farm. All right, those combines are now put away. Very nice. So let's head up into the sky. I do have a couple plans that I want to do. So I think my goal is, as we saw in the last episode, I wasn't able to get rid of this ridge completely, and I don't have a house. So I think this would actually be a really good spot to put our house. We'll just have to flatten it out and build it up a little bit. I do want to see if I can completely get rid of this ridge because it is a bit smaller, so I'm a bit optimistic that we can. And then I think what I'm going to do is send a path between these 2 fields here, because eventually we will be using the land out here like so. I think what I also want to do is clean up a little bit of this, as well as I'm going to put a path. I'm going to continue the path that I originally got rid of, this one that connects up through here. So we're going to cut off a huge chunk of this field. And I do think as well as I'm going to take out this little bit of this field and see if I can just smooth it out right along here. I want to take a bit off of this field so that we can have a clear path to this field as well. And then I think I also want to buy another bit of land. So if we look at the map here, right now we own these 6 plots right here. I know a lot of this area is really hot, like steep elevation, so that's not the best to farm in. But I think once we get this path opened up, we should have more access to these fields here. I do have a lot of lumber in between this field and what could be here. So maybe forestry might be something that we look at getting into at some point with some more equipment, so we're just a bit more efficient with it. But for now, let's get going on some changes to the ground. Okay, as you can see, we've got this path over to this part of the map over there situated now. I got rid of this little mound. And I also cleaned up the edge of this field, as you can see here. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to get this path back over to there situated. So let's get that sorted. All right, very nice. As you can see, we now have this path reestablished, and I have gone and put a little bit of space on either side of the fields. My plan is big term, just like I did on Elm Creek previously. I want to shape these fields up with course play, just so that they're actually kind of, they identify as proper fields, and then we can get some names on them. So the next thing I want to do is I want to look about getting our house put up on this mound here. I'm going to have to clear those bags of seed out of the way. So I'll see you guys once I've done that. Okay, we've got our bags nicely lined up. Let's head back into the sky. What I do need to do is I need to smooth this top bit up a little bit. Let's get just a completely flat space. Just by dragging around our flattened tool. Very nice. And I will need to extend this sort of raised platform a little bit. And then we'll look at our housing options to see what will kind of fit in this area here. So if we look at our farmhouses, this has plenty of space on that. Let's look for one that I'm going to really enjoy. I think I do like this red style farmhouse. It'll fit really nice with the rest of our shed. So I'll put that right around here, I think. Just like so. Very nice. And then I want to see if there's any sort of shed garage that we could get. It might be in this, just a sort of like a separate garage for our cars. Is that too big? I think I like having this just as like a workshop and a shed for all our fun toys and stuff like that. So what I'll have to do is move that house. We'll just get rid of it really quick. We'll put our garage sort of right there. Very nice. Let's go back to our farmhouses. We'll get this guy out and we'll put him on just a bit of an angle. Like so. There we go. I don't know why it changed the height on me here. Let me see if I can sort of smooth that out a little bit. I don't know if it'll cause issues with the bumps that we were seeing last time. Yeah, it does seem to be a little bit. Let me see if I can do anything around that. No, I'm gonna have to demolish this and re-level everything out. And we'll make sure that the entire width of this garage is on the elevated surface so it doesn't move the height once again. It is causing some issues for some reason, as you can see here. I don't know why. So let me restart this. Okay, there we go. We've got it flat now, so let's get our shed out. Let's make sure that it doesn't cause any issues. There we are, just like so. Very nice. And then we will go over to our farmhouse, like so. We'll put it on an angle once again, like so. We've got a bit of issues with the house deforming because I think this part is sunken in a little bit. So what I will do is actually get back into landscaping and let's see if we can flatten that out so that it just kind of comes to the side like so. Very nice. That works out very nice. And then let's get some paths from our garage and also from the rest of the farm. So what we'll do is I'll make it a bit larger, change it to a circle. We'll go from the front door sort of over to the shed like so. We'll also go down to this side door here like so. And then I'm going to want to get this all covered with gravel actually. I don't know if we can. I might be a bit limited. Yeah, I think I'm limited. So we'll just go to there, get that covered in with gravel. This will be our driveway. And then what we'll do is we'll attach it to here, just like so. And then what I also want to do is attach it out to the rest of the path, just like so. Very nice. And I will have to adjust the landscaping because there is a pretty steep drop off, as you can see. So let's get our smooth tool out, like so. And I can just soften all this right up. Nope, not that, sorry, not that. What I meant to do was this one. So this will soften right out, hopefully all along here. Very nice. And then we have our very first actual farmhouse on this series. How good. How good. So now let's do a little bit of landscaping. I want to do some bushes out here. We'll do the whole outline of it actually, just like that. Very nice. And then I think the last thing that we should get is some trees. I think once the trees are in, we'll do one right there. We'll do one right there. We'll do another big one there. And then one right there. And then let's add in just a couple bit, some smaller complementary trees kind of. I do want to kind of separate the house from the rest of the farm so it doesn't feel, it kind of feels a bit separate. Although we do have sort of a field right in our front yard. But I think that's a good, pretty nice spot. As you can see, everything is pretty leveled. We've now got a proper house. We can see a bit of the farm with all our sheds and tools over there. A couple of the fields, very nice. Don't know if we can actually go in this house. I don't think we can. You can see that sort of 2D image of the kitchen. But I like it. So this is our new house. We've got a new path situated. One more thing I do want to do is I want to buy a bit more land too now that we have the money. So we'll buy plot 37. We'll also buy plot 36 and plot 35 as well. Let's add that to our now total land. And I don't think there's too much more. Oh, I do actually want to, let's hop back in the sky. I do want to sort of clean this up around here. So to do that, let's get some grass out. And I think what I might actually do is take about this much off of the field. So let's try and go in a somewhat straight line. Okay, there we go. Just finishing off getting rid of the last little bit of this field. Like so. And I think what I will do is I will get some of that dirt again. I don't think we need to make it gravel path, but I'll get some of that dirt. And I will kind of just blend it into the field. Or sorry, not into the field, into the gravel. Just like so. Like that. And then I will just take it right over to this field as well. Very nice. And then I think at some point I do want to send a path up this way without taking too much of that field out. I don't want to completely shrink the size of this field. But I do think it would be nice if we got a path out there eventually, because I'm taking the trash out, I suppose. I don't know where that came from, but we'll just leave it there in the middle of the driveway so I can drive over it with my truck at some point. But yeah, if we look here, I'm pretty happy with how the farm is looking now. We've got a proper farmhouse. We've got some paths designated now. We've got some space between our fields, which I think is helping it. I will, I think in between episodes, set up some course play custom fields, and then I will have the field creator run within those custom fields, and then we can get them cleaned up just even a bit more. We did buy this land here, 35, so it would be beneficial to have a path out here at some point, but I think I'll tackle that once I actually start farming this land out here. It's still, for the most part, it's a bit too wooded up to be creating any decent fields out of it just yet. I'm thinking this patch of wood or lumber will be the soon to go. But I think for now that I'm pretty happy with what I have done overall, and I am happy that we actually do have a proper farmhouse now. So I'll meet you guys back on the ground. Well, folks, I think I am going to wrap it up there for this episode. As you can see, we are standing in front of our brand new farmhouse and garage. I'll have to get some equipment moved in there, some toy trucks, some gators. We'll see what we get. what we can buy. We're sitting at, what are we at now? We're sitting at $1.4 million, which I'm really happy with. We are going to buy some new equipment, but I think I'm going to save that for the next episode. I am interested in getting a couple more tractors and maybe another cedar or corn planter. So we will see how we go about that. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, I would greatly appreciate if you left a like, comment if you have any suggestions or any questions. I'd love to hear your feedback. And subscribe if you haven't already, if you like this sort of content and you don't want to miss future episodes. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.